Houston. Houston, we have a problem. DJ Apollo has landed. I repeat, DJ Apollo has landed at Hitmix 88.9 WEIU.
Welcome to the Tales of Music and Film podcast. My name is DJ Apollo, and we are on, and I can't believe I'm saying this, episode 40. This is going to be a very special recording because we are celebrating 40 episodes. And today I have my good friend...
Preston. Sorry.
No, I like the pause there. It's just like, pause for effect.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading about the band we're going to be talking about, so I was slightly distracted. My apologies.
No. You're good. You're good. So today in this recording, we have a very special one in store for you today. We are going to be talking about a modern band. I know, shocker. It's like, DJ Apollo, you only cover old school stuff. Well, it's like, hey, I got to keep an open mind here. My buddy Preston gave me the excellent idea of covering an album that goes by the name Dear Agony. Now, who is the band who created this amazing record? Preston, take it away.
So the band that made it is Breaking Benjamin. And they're an American rock band from Pennsylvania that formed in 1999. They're most well known for their post-grunge music. So they're basically a grunge band from right after grunge was in its high era. And they've extended into the early 2000s and even the 2010s they were doing stuff. And I believe they came out with a best hits album in 2020. So, basically, a backstory for the band. They started out as a garage band, I believe. And they came up with their name after Benjamin Berkeley, the lead singer of the band, actually was performing live at a show before they got real big, and he broke a microphone, and then they gave him the nickname Breaking Benjamin, and that's how they got the name.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. It's so funny to me how you learn how bands got their names.
Yeah.
I seem to notice they come from the craziest of places. And this band, would you like to say the band members?
Yeah, so the band members are Benjamin Burnley, as we were talking about, Aaron Bruch, Sean Foist, Jason Rauch, and Keith Whalen.
Okay. So how many members of the band are there all together? Is this a five-piece lineup? Five? Okay. And
they've had several past members, too, but long story short, they're not here anymore. They've had actually 6 members in the past that are no longer part of the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not all at once, though.
Okay. And this band actually just celebrated its 20th anniversary just this past year. And I actually had the amazing honor of seeing Breaking Benjamin live in St. Louis at the amphitheater with my parents back in early mid-September. It was a big concert because it had them, the band Bush, and the band that I went there to go see, Alice in Chains. So I got to see 3 big acts in one night, and that whole show was breathtaking. Breaking Benjamin put up one heck of a performance, and it was an amazing show. And Preston actually had me listen to a lot of the songs off of Dear Agony. I can't confirm they did perform some of those at the show because they all sounded pretty familiar.
Man, I'd love to see them in concert someday.
Yeah.
That has to have been incredible. I've heard they give a good performance.
Yeah, it was great. It was loud and they were up there for 2 hours. It's just it was a good show. And it was a very good experience. And if you have not seen Breaking Benjamin live, I cannot say enough, it's worth it. I would highly recommend you go check them out. So this album, Dear Agony, Preston really holds this album very dear to him, and he thought this would be a very fun one to cover.
Yeah.
Because for you, this is like your go-to, right? This is like the go-to record.
Oh, yeah. And you mind if I go a little bit into why?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
So this album's very close to me. For one, it's been very close to me for a long time because a very close friend of mine introduced me to this back home, this band, and I completely fell in love with them. And so for a long time they've been close, but in the past year they became particularly close to me because there was a day a while back where it was like last September, actually. It was like a year ago. Oh, no. I can't remember how long ago it was by now. It was over a year. I know that. But I got in a horrific car accident. And that friend was in the car with me, and we were actually listening to another grunge band. And then one of this band's songs from this album came on right after the accident while I was still going in the car. It kind of helped calm me down. And it just, like, really helps me connect because while that's very sad, it also just makes me feel really appreciative of how far I've come. Because when this accident happened, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. Like, I give that accident part of the credit for me finding my way to deciding to go into film production.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I don't know, like, a life-altering, changing event for me, I mean, I don't have anything to that level. It's like, for me, when I decided to get my degree in TV and video production, it was kind of just a guess, to be honest with you, because when I transferred to Lakeland Community College after I graduated high school, I went in wanting to be a writer. And during my freshman year, I saw how fun it was to be in the radio department, and I decided that I have to get a degree in this field because I'm genuinely am enjoying this. I know more about it, and it's working out for me so far. So, like, why would I not continue this? So I just took a guess, and I just took a leap of faith, I guess, and just went for it. And it was one of the best decisions that I ever made, and I'm sure you have no regrets either, right?
Oh, no, not at all. Obviously, I'm not happy that I got in an accident, but I'm really happy where I am now. Like, I mean, I'm here talking on this podcast with one of the best friends I've ever made.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here.
But yeah, this album obviously is very important to me.
Yeah.
Its message and how it resonates with me.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and this goes for everybody. Like, I know all you listening, you all have at least like that one album whenever things get really tough or you're in a bad place where you listen to that, it helps you reminisce good times and it makes you feel happy again. Like, for me, it was the Back in Black album by AC/DC. That is my number one favorite album of all time. I can't express to you just how much I love that album, and I've listened to that whole thing from beginning to end. I don't know how many times, and I have it on CD and vinyl, and it's just the album that I listen to that helps me, calm down and makes me feel good about myself. So we all have that album that we go to, and I'm very excited to get into this record. So, Preston, would you want to give us a little more information regarding Dear Agony, like the album in particular?
Absolutely.
Because I figured it'd be good to go into, like, when did it come out? How many did it sell? And what were, like, some of the singles, just to get a little bit of history in here. So, go ahead.
So, the description on iTunes for the Dear Agony album says, "Change isn't for everyone. Dear Agony is trimmed with all the winning trappings of Breaking Benjamin's former works. Wind-up verses expressing the dire agony of forever troubled romance leading up to detonating choruses of cathartic explosions. Melancholic melodies do head-to-head battles with heavy, grungy rock riffs, sometimes winning and sometimes losing. Frontman Benjamin Burnley furthers his lyrical foray of the perpetual breakup." So basically what this is saying with all of its very big words is this album is all over the place with emotion.
And
in the most organized way possible.
Yeah, it's just like so Press and I decided to do 2 songs apiece, and the 2 that I listened to, like the 2 songs that I listened to were nothing but just pure emotion. Like the lyric play, the way they wrote the songs, emotion was like literally the first thing I thought of. Like the songs that you had me listen to, all I thought about was emotion.
Yeah.
And like particular like situations.
And what kind of emotion did you feel?
Honestly, it's like, I don't know. It's like, okay, it's like some parts, okay, is this a happy song? Oh, wait a minute, no, is this a sad song? It's like, I couldn't really find a specific one. It felt like there was happy moments, but then there were sad moments as well. So it was like, I couldn't pick over one another.
So kind of like melancholy.
Melancholy, yes, that's how I would put it. Yes, something like that. It was like a mix of just happy and sad.
For me, it just comes out as sheer raw passion.
Yes.
And not even for anything in particular. It's just, I'm passionate about being passionate.
Oh, yeah, dude. If there's one thing that you can take away from this is passion. Like, oh my gosh, like these guys, I feel like they put their heart and souls into this one, you know? It's just like, I'm sure their other ones are just as good, but there is something about this one.
Yeah.
It's just like, it feels like they put like not just 100%, I'm talking like 150 or something.
Well, and I
Like,
will say some of their other albums are a lot more lighthearted, and there's one that's a little darker, but this one is like the perfect happy medium for me.
yeah, and I can understand why. And we are going to go ahead now and get into the album itself. And we have 2 songs apiece that we are going to talk about today. And I am going to go first. The first song that I decided to listen to was Give Me a Sign. And this song was a lot more softer, how would you say it? Softer tone, I feel like.
Give me a sign. Yeah, I would say that it's. I'd actually give it a rather desperate tone.
Or a desperate tone? Yeah. I could definitely hear that because, like, the way it was played out, you know, like, it had this sound of, like, a softer grunge song from, like, the early 90s. That's the. It's like, okay, what if Nirvana had, like, toned it down, right? And they did a more softer approach. That's what it felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into the first verse here. So, Give Me a Sign lyrics. First verse goes like this. Dead stars shine, line up the sky. I am all out of breath. My walls are closing in. Days go by, give me a sign. Come back to the end, the shepherd of the damned. Now, this first verse right here it's making me think of like, maybe it's a person, man or woman, you know, that they're at the end of their rope here. I feel like they're in like a very, very tough situation. Like the walls are literally closing in. The days are going by. It's getting worse. And it's just like, I look up at the sky at night. I see how shiny those stars are, right? Give me some kind of sign. Like, I'm at the end here. Like, what do I do? Like, I feel like I'm damned here. What do I do?
You know what that description kind of makes me think of?
What's that?
From another thing we've done? It makes me think of the song Hurt from Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It's like someone's at the end of their life and they have a lot of regret. And they're like, just give me a sign of what I need to do to make things right.
Or at least like a tone, like redeem myself in some way, right?
Yeah.
You know, like that's really what I get, you know, from that first verse. I grab off the bat there, so that we're already setting the stage here for what this story is going to be going into. Excuse me, and this next verse here, so it goes like this. I can feel you falling away, no longer the lost, no longer the same, and I can see you starting to break. I'll keep you alive if you show me the way. Forever and ever, the scars will remain. I'm falling apart. Leave me here forever in the dark.
So it's like, I absolutely love those verses. Like, I absolutely love those verses. in particular, but like just talk about I can feel you falling away, like someone very close to them drifting away, possibly, whether it's like everyone around them is like dying, like, or if someone's just like kind of distancing themselves.
So let me see here. So you're saying it's like maybe this guy is thinking about a friendship where he thought all he was adding was pain and heartache in it. So he decided to cut ties with the person right then and there because they thought they were adding a bunch of, like they were a burden.
More like the other way around. Like the other person's cutting ties with him.
Because
or her.
Like him or her is cutting ties with the guy that I mentioned in the first verse. So it's like they're cutting ties with him because they think he's a burden.
Well, like they're cutting ties with the singer. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, I can feel you falling away, no longer the lost, no longer the same. And I can see you starting to break. Like, maybe it was just, like, a really toxic relationship of some sort. Like, not even necessarily romantic, but, like, I'll keep you alive if you show me the way. Forever and ever, the scars will remain. So, like, the scars, I imagine, are just memories that they cannot forget. Of like things that have happened between the two of them in the past that weren't good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that as well with those, and
like leave me here forever in the dark. Like they're just in complete utter despair.
Oh yeah, without a doubt on that. Now we get into, I assume what this will be the chorus of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Dying light dies, black out the sky. Does anyone care? Is anybody there? Take this life, empty inside. I'm already dead. I'll rise to fall again. And I'm not sure what this one's kind of like saying here. Dying light, daylight dies. The black out the sky. So is it like? I wonder if that's like a metaphor for like a life, like the life inside of you. It's like it's dying out. It's just pure blackness inside of me. Mm-hmm. And it's like no one gives a crap. Like no one cares. Yeah. You know, like does anyone care? Is anybody there? Can I have some help here? Yeah. Nobody's like lending a hand. I can imagine it's like someone's like on their knees, like on the street, and then people are just going about their day. Like they're not caring at all about this person who's having like a mental breakdown in the middle of the street. No one's like lending a hand, asking, "Are you okay?" Like no one.
I also, with an interpretation of this song that I've had in the past, is like I see it as someone who's struggling with their faith with God. Like,
okay.
Like they're just struggling because, like, as a Christian, I've certainly went through times where I've struggled with faith, and it's like I'll feel distant from like Christ. Like I feel like I can't feel him there with me, even though I know he's there. Right. Is the best way I can describe it. And I see it as like maybe he's like, why do I feel this way? Like, why aren't you helping me? Like, are you there?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely like. That's actually a really good interpretation there. I did not think about it that way. That's interesting, and it's funny you mentioned that because here comes the next like main verse here. God help me, I've come undone. Out of the light of the sun, God help me, I've come undone. Out of the light of the sun. So it's kind of like another kind of like a chorus moment, but I feel like that might be more evidence to what you just said.
Yeah,
you know, like
because it's like he's feeling remorseful of the things he's done and hurt people, and he's saying, "God help me, I've come undone." Like, Lord, bring me back to you. Like, like taking that from a Christian's perspective, it's like he's struggling with his faith and he's feeling very remorseful and he's repenting for things he's done and calling out to God to hear him and help him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's a good way to say what that might be talking about. Now, as we continue. I can feel you falling away, no longer the lost, no longer the same, and I can see you starting to break. I'll keep you alive. I'll show you me the way. Forever and ever, the scars will remain. I feel like that last line there, you know, it's like the scars of like my past, they're there. Mm-hmm. I feel them every day.
Which I'm sorry. Just
ahead.
giving some context that I just found out.
Okay.
Benjamin Burnley actually does believe in God. He actually attributes that to the band's success because, like, something I didn't talk about with their background.
Go ahead.
A lot of the band members have struggled with, like, drugs and alcohol and just a lot of vices that they had a lot of trouble overcoming. And they even took, like, a 4-year hiatus, like, between 2010 and 2014, where they just didn't make any music. But, like, he gives God credit for the band's success.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something very interesting. And that's why it's like you see with their newer music, it's a little lighter because they're not in that despair anymore.
Fair point. Yeah, with the way their music sounds now, it's in a lighter tone because they finally like maybe gotten a lot. They've overcome whatever it was that was affecting them back then.
Yeah,
you know.
But yeah, I'm sorry I cut you off.
No,
it's just I had that epiphany. I'm like, oh, I should share this.
Yeah, dude. I'm the same way. It's like I feel like a lot of us can relate to the fact. I'm guilty of this. Or it's like the minute a thought gets into my head, I have to say it because if I hold on it,
you're gonna forget.
It's gonna forget. Like the classic, I drew a blank. It was right there. What was I just thinking? You know, like,
and it was
dude,
like it was so good too.
Yeah, it was so good, dude. I hate it when that happens. I hate it. It's so annoying. Now we get to the last verse, and like, dude, this is like deep out the wazoo. Like, this is deep with the wording of this. Give me a sign. There's something buried in the words. Give me a sign. Your tears are adding to the flood. Give me a sign. There's something buried in the words. Give me a sign. Your tears are adding up to the flood. Just give me a sign. There's something buried in the words. Give me a sign. Your tears are adding to the flood. So that feels like that's the final chorus of this.
And then forever and ever the scars will remain.
Yeah.
So it's like basically saying, I can't take back what I've done, but I'm asking you to forgive me.
Right.
Like, again, I imagine that he's crying out to God, asking for forgiveness, saying, look, I can't change what I am and what I've done, but will you forgive me? Will you be here for me?
Right. And my perspective here, I feel like this guy might be talking about a relationship. Maybe
it could be that too.
Because
well, I mean, I guess if it could be a relationship with God, it could be a relationship with a friend, a girlfriend. We really don't know.
Yeah, for me, I think it was a relationship either with a friend or a girlfriend. That's what I feel like. It is, to me,
it's valid.
And that's the end of the chorus or lyrics for this song. Now, Preston, what was one of these songs that you wanted to cover?
I think next we should cover "I Will Not Bow."
I Will Not Bow, and I believe we went to go get Caesar's Pizza because you, me, and side note here, you, me, and Aiden, we were watching The Boys last weekend, and
yes,
I remember we went out, we were assigned to go get pizza for the three of us at Caesar's, and I remember driving out there. You wanted me to get a head start on listening to this album, and I believe wasn't this one of the songs that you had me listen to on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, and so take it away. The floor is yours, good sir.
All right. So it goes, starting the lyrics. Fall. Now the dark begins to rise. Save your breath, it's far from over. Leave the lost and dead behind. Now's your chance to run for cover. I don't want to change the world. I just want to leave it colder. Light the fuse and burn it up. Take the path that leads to nowhere.
All right, so my 2 cents here, I feel like this is a guy who's like, or I shouldn't say guy, this feels like a person that has literally given up on humanity. Like, it feels like, you know what this feels like to me? It feels like the movie Logan with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier. That whole movie, right, is these 2 guys who have went above and beyond to defend humanity and tried to unite mutants and humans together. Where does it take them? They're both old, living by themselves out in the middle of nowhere. The mutants were all wiped out or dying out, and All the good deeds they did for humanity over the years have all been forgotten, and they're at the end of their rope. They tried so hard to fight for humanity, and look where it led them. That's the message I'm getting here. This person has tried so hard to live with humanity, with people.
Man,
And,
Chris, you sound like you're writing a Linkin Park song.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, yeah. Well, hey,
No, I think that's a really good interpretation. It sounded like their song "In the End."
oh yeah, in the end.
Yeah.
That's funny. But that's what I'm getting here. It's like they've done all these good things, and look where it got this person, like nowhere. So it's like, what's the point? Heck with this world. I ain't adding any light to this depressing thing. I'm just gonna make it colder. Like that's what I get just off that first verse alone.
So I get that perspective. The way I see it, this is more about inner turmoil.
What does that mean? Inner turmoil.
They are battling with themselves and self-hatred.
Gotcha.
That doesn't mean I'm necessarily right or you're wrong, but they're definitely battling something. But like I see it as like a self-hatred, and it's like, because it says like, fall, now the dark begins to rise, save your breath, it's far from over, leave the lost and dead behind. Now's your chance to run for cover. I don't want to change the world. I just want to leave it colder.
So
Like
I wonder if run for cover means like I'm just gonna run from the hills.
Yeah.
And just like, heck with this, I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
That's what it feels like to me.
And they're like, I don't even want to accept help. I want to leave. I want to leave myself where I am. I want to make it colder, make it even worse. Like, like just a lot of self-hatred like that.
Right.
Light the fuse and burn it up sounds like, as you put it, they're at their wits' end.
Yeah, it's like, heck with this world. Let's just like blow it up. It can be blown up for all I care. I don't care about it anymore. Like.
But then as the lyrics progress, it starts to almost be like they're still trying to battle that inner instinct to harm themselves in some way. And it says, all is lost again, but I'm not giving in. I will not bow. I will not break. I will shut the world away. I will not fall. I will not fade. I will take your breath away. So it sounds like he's saying, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to shut the world away. That's not really a healthy way to deal with depression, but it's like almost like a self-preservation. Like, I'll feel better if I just cut everything out. And then I will take your breath away. What do you think that means, Chris?
I'll take your breath away. It's like, okay, now I might get a little. I think I want to go a very deep route here, but
Go for it.
I feel like maybe this person once had friends who are like, "There's good in you," but then this person shows them, "No, I don't," and they're shocked. Like they fought so hard to get this person to change to be better, and it did nothing. This person is just like. This person feels like he or she has accepted help before, and it didn't help them. It's like they can't change. They're out of breath. They're tired.
Yeah.
They've tried everything to help this person. Nothing good came from it. So
I think that's a really good way to put it. I don't think I'd see it any other way.
like that's what I get.
Yeah, I hear that.
With that, how does it continue?
Fall, watch the end through dying eyes. Now the dark is taking over. Show me where forever dies. Take the fall and run to heaven. All is lost again, but I'm not giving in. So again, bringing in the biblical perspective, take the fall and run to heaven. That honestly, okay. I'm going to put a trigger warning right here, audience. I'm about to get very deep here. So
Yeah, just
if this is kind of hard on you, I would stop listening to this recording now because we're getting real deep.
Yeah, just disclaimer. A lot of these songs seem to be having very deep messages, so just trigger warning. And if you want to stop the recording and take a break, it's totally up to you. But we're gonna put that warning right here, right now. So okay, we are past that warning. So Preston, go ahead.
Okay, so take the fall and run to heaven. Unfortunately, I see that as they're contemplating suicide. and trying to get like to an afterlife that's better.
Yeah, because
I want to put that disclaimer before I bring something like that up. But.
I mean, I just feel like how else can you take that lyric?
Right,
like,
I know.
I mean, like that feels like it's what it is,
Right, because I mean, even before that, like. Now the dark is taking over. Show me where forever dies. That sounds like someone who's suicidal.
Yeah, like 100%. This way it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean it's not a pretty thought, but I really think that's accurate.
Well, dude, I think the thing is though, it's like with a lot of music, yeah, it may sound inspiring. When you get into the lyrics itself, it is deep stuff.
Yes,
like. Dude, I think a lot of the best songs that have ever been written, in a lot of cases, not all of them, but a good few, it's a sad story. You know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you got to think about it like this. I learned this in my psychology class at Lakeland. Like, these musicians who write these songs, it's connected to some kind of heartbreak they went through.
Yeah.
Where do you think they get their song ideas from in a lot of cases? Like, they went through some very sad stuff. And they turn those experiences, they vent out with what they write, and then they go up on stage every night having to perform those said songs, and they have to relive that pain over and over again, and that's something I don't think a lot of people think about when musicians go on tour. Like, they have to perform some of these songs that are about memories they would rather not think about,
Yeah.
But yeah,
after that, it again goes back to like him almost fighting that instinct again, because it goes back to the chorus of "I will not bow, I will not break, I will shut the world away, I will not fall, I will not fade, I will take your breath away, and I'll survive." And it's like that chorus just comes back again, like it's like he's having these dark thoughts, but he's trying to battle it, and he's just at his wit's end. Like, no, I'm not going to let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes on, I've lost the will to change, and I am not proud, cold-blooded fake. I will shut the world away. Open your eyes. I will not bow. I will not break. So, like, he's lost the will to change. Like, he's so far gone that he's like, I don't even feel like... putting in the effort to change anymore. Like, I'm a lost cause. And
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, I feel like all hope is lost for me. Point of no return. Good luck trying to change me,
Like, I'm a cold-blooded fake. Like, I just, like, I can try to change, but it's just going to be fake. I'm not really going to change. And he's not proud of it. But
he's not proud of it. Like, he or she's not proud of it, but they're just like, they're just accepting it.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And basically, it just goes back into that lyric of, like, getting very chaotic, just, like, with the chorus, like, the constant, I'll survive, and then I have lost the will to change, and I'm not proud, but then it's like, I'll shut the world away. And it goes all over the place after that. Like, he's really fighting those inner demons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of this song. Very dark one, but, I just feel like people try to kind of shut away mental health issues too much. And it's something that's important to be acknowledged, as sad and hard as it is.
Yeah, like, dude, I'll even open up a little bit here. I've actually started going back to counseling again because, like, I feel like I've been, like, the very thing that you just brought up, right? I feel like I've been pushing off way too many things, thinking that it wasn't a big deal. But they've been like resurfacing, and I'm just realizing, okay, I gotta talk about this stuff. I can't hold it in.
Right.
It's like if you look back at like the 20th century, I feel like society was just telling everybody it's like you're weak if you try to open up to someone about something you're dealing with. Just be an adult, just tough it out. Like,
well, it's either that or like what I've gone through with my issues when I've battled depression is like. It tends to be like I feel like I'm putting a burden on somebody else by sharing my problems. Like, oh, they don't want to hear about that. That's just going to make them sad. It's like, no, but not talking about it is what's making the problem worse. Like, you got to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, I had to learn that so many times growing up. Like, I have to vent this out. If I hold this in, you're just a ticking time bomb,
Yeah.
with how long you hold that in. It's just not good for you.
It isn't.
At all. And like, that's why, say what you will about this generation, but I think one of the best things we have going now is how brave everybody is. How so many people are opening up about their problems.
I agree. And for better or worse, I'd take it even with all the problems it comes with any day over what it was like before.
Like, dude, I mean, like, no, I would love to have gotten a chance to see what the 20th century was like, but at the same time, there's a part of me, I'm so happy I did not live during those times. I feel like we would not have fit in,
Yeah, we would in some ways, but it's like, I feel like, I don't mean for this to sound prideful, but I just feel like Chris and I are kind of mutts, where it's like we just look at these things in a way where we're able to kind of take the context of things from the past, but also apply it to now. And it's like, there are plenty of people out there like that. I don't mean that to sound prideful, but I don't feel like we really fit perfectly in any one decade or generation.
No, not necessarily. No.
But that's what makes us so good at doing these podcasts, is we can talk about things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Now, that leads me into the second song that I picked, and that is a song that goes by the name of Lights Out. Now, this one, it was not soft, not even close. This one had like this, like a... Dude,
it's almost parasitic.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for saying that. Because I'm like, what word do I use to describe this? Because like, this is not a soft song. This isn't a song you'll listen to when you're like at home eating dinner. Like,
no.
like, dude, this is like screaming, like, high pitch. Like,
yes,
the guitars are going nuts. Like the drums are being pounded so hard to the point they might just spontaneously combust or something.
It goes hardcore.
Yeah, this song, like, I'm not kidding you, it goes into it. It's not even like a build up.
No,
the minute you start, you're in. It's just like boom, right into it.
It smacks you in the face with its craziness.
Yeah,
but I like that about it.
Yeah, this one really stood out to me. I wasn't expecting, like, I was just like, whoa, on this one. But it goes like this, right? So verse number 1, I am done pretending. You have failed to find what's left. I will suck you dry again. Some are not worth saving. You are such a pretty mess. I will choke the life within. Ooh, boy. Wow. This is
it sounds like a very, very toxic person that's trying to just completely control, like,
I feel like
someone or everyone in his life. Like, I'm better than you. You're gonna do what I say.
Like, I'll
choke the life within. Like,
yeah. But honestly, what I was getting from this, I feel like this is a guy who's like in a situation, or maybe the girlfriend's the control freak. Like,
yeah.
Here's what I'm getting, right? Here's what I'm getting. He's pretending to be someone he's not to please this woman, and she's not seeing...
Or vice versa, of course.
Or vice versa. It could be the other way around.
Yes.
But from my point of view, maybe it's either a woman or a man, and it's either their significant other. It's like they're pretending to be this image that they want, that their significant other wants them to be, but not the real them. And so they're like, okay, I am done pretending. You're not seeing the real me, like, quote, you're not seeing what's left here. Like, and I think
Chris and I, like, I feel like it's safe for me to say that, like, we've both been in some pretty toxic relationships of some sort or another in our life.
Oh, dude, without a doubt, like, like past relationships, like I've been in some where it's like they didn't want to see the real me. So like I can identify myself in some ways in this situation.
I definitely have that too. It's like, and the next verses actually go into that. Like, it's like, as if like, now you want to take me down, as if I even care. I'm the monster in your head, and I thought you'd know by now. Like, I'm the monster in your head, it just like makes all of that make sense, where it's like you don't actually see me, you're just seeing the monster you've created in your head.
Exactly. Like that hammers it home, like right there. Like that's even more proof that this could be the case here.
Yeah. And it's
then,
like you're trying to tear me down, and it's like you don't even like want me to be me. You want somebody you think you could turn me into.
Yeah, it's like you're wanting this person that does not exist at all. And it continues with, and I thought you'd learn by now. It seems you haven't yet. I am the venom in your skin, and now your life is broken.
See, that just sounds like the really toxic ex or a like family member of some sort, where it's like the venom in your skin. I imagine that, and now your life is broken. I imagine that as like they did a lot of emotional scarring on them, and it's like it'll never truly go away. And it's like, now your life is broken. Well, it's like not necessarily, but that's probably what they'd want you to believe.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I am the venom in your skin. It's like, I wonder if that's like a metaphor for like, she's so angry that I won't be what she wants me to be, or the other way around.
Yeah.
And like, I'm speaking about this song from a male point of view.
Right.
And like you said, vice versa. So it's like either
right. But like from your point of view, or probably the point of view of the band, because it's all men.
Right.
If it is a romantic relationship, it's probably a woman. But that's not necessarily true. But
but who knows? Now we're just speaking from, like I said, male point of view, and now your life is broken. So I'm wondering if that means like her life is broken now. Do you think that lyric's talking about the guy, or like?
I think it's talking about the guy.
Well, let me rephrase. Do you think that lyric is talking about the innocent one or the toxic one?
The innocent one.
The innocent one? Like, why do you think that?
I think that this is kind of jumping between and showing like the perspective of two different people. And it's like, I think that the toxic one wants the innocent one to believe their life is broken.
Right. Like it's like an act. They're putting in like this, I'm broken, please help me. You know, like it's just all a fake mask. Like,
yes,
behind the mask, they have like the biggest grin because like you're falling for their fake facade, you know.
Yes.
And that leads us into the next part. I assume this is the chorus. It goes like this. After the lights go out on you, after your worthless life is through, I will remember how you scream, I can't afford to care. I can't afford to care. And it's like, I feel like that right there is just kind of like, listen, I can't afford this anymore. You're costing me my mental health. I feel miserable. The lights on this relationship, they're out. Like whatever lights were there, they're dead.
Well, it's
burnt
like it literally
out
says,
for a while.
And it literally says right after that, I'm suffocating. You have failed to pull me in. Like, I will drag you down again. So, like, I'm suffocating. You failed to pull me in. I imagine that's, again, going back to the victim. But then it switches back to the toxic one saying, I will drag you down again. Life is unrelenting, feeding lies into my head. I will feed the lies you live. That's deep.
Yeah, feeding lies into my head. I will feed the lies you live. Like, dude,
live is the key part.
Yeah, key word here, live. Ooh. Like, holy cow, dude.
That's dark.
Like, dude, this whole verse. Where do I start with this? Like,
I don't.
I'm suffocating. Like she's like putting a pillow over you and just slowly taking a life away from you, metaphorically, you know, like
right.
And like, you have failed to pull me in, like you've failed to make me understand. Like, why are you wanting me to act like this? Why can't I just be myself? I fail to see. What's the point here? If you're not going to see the real me, what's the point of this relationship we're doing here? You know,
exactly. Like, it's not even a relationship.
Like
that's the lie they are living.
Yeah,
that it's a relationship.
Like I'm literally your victim here.
Yeah,
like I will drag you down again. So it's like, I wonder what that means. I will drag you down again. Does that mean like, All right, fine.
You'll be
your
back
game.
again, and I'll continue to bring you down like I do.
Right, like he or she will go find someone else for a while. That relationship's gonna go south. They're gonna come crying back to you. It's just gonna be live, die, repeat.
Or it's
again.
literally them saying like, "You'll be back. You can't live without me," and then I'll bring you down some more.
So it's
just an emotional roller coaster.
It's like the toxic ones doing the cliche of like, you can't live without me. I'm the best you're ever gonna find. Like that kind of thing. I wouldn't say it's a cliche though, but I mean that happens a lot. Like whoever's the toxic one, that seems to be a common thing. I think a lot of people would say it's like, I'm the best you're ever gonna find. I'm it.
Yeah.
But would you call it a cliche though?
I would,
because
I'd call it a cliche. It may be a accurate cliche in a lot of times, but it's still a cliche.
Like it's like that's very common, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Especially now, like in this day and age in dating, I feel like that's a way more common thing.
Yes.
And now we get into this.
So it goes back into the chorus again, like
yeah, and it goes back in the lyrics we've already kind of talked about. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes back into the main lyrics. Now you want me to take you. Now you want to take me down as if I even care. I'm the monster in your head, and I thought you'd learn by now. So it's like I thought you'd learn by now. Like I'm acting like myself. If you don't like it, then there's the door.
Yeah.
Like just leave.
And it seems to end on a high note, thankfully,
Like,
where the victim is just finally sick of it, and they're like, "I can't afford to care," and it just keeps saying, "I can't afford to care," and then ends with that in all caps.
Well,
like, get out of my life. I don't have the energy to care anymore.
Yeah, what's crazy though? I can relate to this. To me, it's like last year I dated this girl. I will not say her name. I'll keep it private, but I dated this girl that lived right across from my dorm room, and we dated for about, we knew each other for a good 3 or 4 months. We talked for a while. We hung out. We dated for like a month, but I noticed red flags. I didn't forget about them. I didn't want to jump the gun right away. I'm going to give her a chance, but I remembered the red flags. And about a month into our relationship, she started getting very toxic towards me. Like, she wanted me to act a certain way, and she wouldn't open up to me about whatever it was that was bugging her. She expected me to just automatically know. Like, I was like,
yeah, that's not healthy.
And that's not healthy at all. Like, I felt miserable. And then one day, she just quit talking to me. Like, this went on for like a good week or two. She quit talking to me. I tried talking to her, and she wouldn't talk to me. It's like I was invisible. And then one day, I had enough. I walked right into her dorm room, and I told her that we were finished. I can't do this anymore. And I just left. That's all I had to do. I just told her, I told her straight up in a very professional way. I can't do this anymore. I've given you enough chances. I'm miserable, and you make me feel like it's all my fault, and I'm done. And I just walked out of there, and I haven't really said a word to her since. I see her in the hallway sometimes, and I say hi to her because, I don't like holding grudges. That's not healthy either.
Right.
I'm over it,
Right, but
it didn't work out between us, and that's it. You got to be adult about it,
Yeah, no, that's the right way to go about it.
And she seems to be happy now. I think she's moved on to someone else. And she's happy, which is all that matters. I mean, I wish her luck. I really do. I hope she's happy. I hope her life's going well and everything. Because that's the kind of guy I am. Even if things went south, I still want you to succeed.
Right, exactly.
But I feel like that's what this person did. Whoever it was that was stuck in this toxic relationship, they left. They finally said enough, and they walked out. And good riddance for them. They deserve better.
I agree. I do.
And that's a very good way to end the song. It's like, oh, thank goodness. After all that emotional stuff we just went through, it's kind of good to see it have a good ending. Whew. You see, that's the thing, though. This kind of makes me think of, I feel like with some movies or stories, the happy ending has to be earned. And I feel like in this instance with this song, whoever the victim was in this toxic relationship, they earned that happy ending.
I agree.
Like Shawshank Redemption, for example. the actor who played Andy in that, who is the main character, I watched him in an interview recently. Like, the interviewer asked him, "Do you think the ending of the film fit the story?" And he says yes, because Andy went through a lot of hardships over that whole story. So the movie, to him, he thinks that the movie earned that ending due to all the things that the characters went through. Like, what do you think on that?
I agree with that. Yeah, like I think that's certainly a good comparison to the song, and I agree with the interpretation of what the song's saying. So,
Okay. And now, Preston, that just leaves you with your second song. So what was the second one you went with?
all right. So the second song and the final one we will be covering on this podcast, I believe, right?
Yeah, this will be the last one.
Yep. I left this one for last because the song bears the same title as the album.
That's the album.
Dear Agony.
Dear Agony.
This
okay.
is the song I mentioned that I heard after the car accident. And I really wanted to end on a high note, so I saved this one for last.
All right, awesome. Well, take it away.
So it opens up with, I have nothing left to give. I have found the perfect end. You were made to make it hurt, disappear into the dirt. Carry me to heaven's arms, light the way and let me go. Take the time to take my breath. I will end where I began. So what I interpret that as is someone's just like, I'm tired of my suffering. Like, take away my suffering. Like, in whatever way it is, I'm tired. Like, light the way and let me go. Take the time to take my breath. Like, I don't think it's necessarily talking about someone wanting to die, but like they're just tired of living the life the way they are.
Yeah, sure. I can definitely see that. You know, I this is a person who's like, it's like I feel like this person, whoever it is, it's like they're in a cycle, right? Mm-hmm. And they're tired of said cycle. They need some kind of change.
Yeah.
Something to really give their life a new perspective and some excitement or even happiness. I feel like that's what that song is getting at.
Yeah.
And how does it continue?
It continues with, I will find the enemy within, because I can feel it crawl beneath my skin. Dear agony, just let go of me, suffer slowly. Is this the way it's gotta be? I think that's talking about some sort of addiction to something.
Sure.
Something that's controlling their life, and it's like,
okay,
finding the enemy within, like, is sort of like admitting that you have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes into,
okay.
like, I can feel it crawling beneath my skin. Like, you feel this urge coming on. And it's like, just let go of me. Like, dear agony. Like, they're writing a letter to their agony saying, let go of me. And it's done. Like, is this the way I have to live my life? Like, suffer slowly. Is this the way it's got to be? And then it goes on with, suddenly the lights go out. Let forever drag me down. I will fight for one last breath. I will fight until the end. So I see that as like continuing on with the fact that they're suffering and they're tired of it from some sort of addiction or whatever they're going through. It's like he's like not going to stop fighting. Like, I will fight for one last breath. Like, I'm going to keep fighting for this life because that's all I've got, but I want it to change.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, like, I feel like you're on the money with this. Like, I feel like
I've thought about this song a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, dude, like, I have nothing else to add. You know what I mean? It's just, like, I feel like you're so, like, on the dot with this.
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
Yeah, like, you got this down. Like, like, please continue.
But yeah, like, I will find the enemy within, because I can feel it crawl beneath my skin. Again, going back to that. Dear agony, just let go of me. Suffer slowly. Is this the way it's got to be? Don't bury me, faceless enemy. I'm so sorry. Is this the way it's got to be? Now, that part I think is very interesting, talking about a faceless enemy.
Now, I was gonna see. I'm glad you bring this up because, like, I don't get that faceless enemy. Does that mean like an inner thing? Like an inner thing? Like faceless villain?
I honestly think that what that's saying is it's an enemy that he knows is there, but he can't see it,
Right.
and he can't like touch it, but it's there. So like he feels it. It's like this just deep burden that he has coming from himself that like he doesn't really know how to describe. It's just a faceless enemy, but it's like it's weighing him down, and he's tired of it.
Right.
And it's like,
okay,
don't bury me, faceless enemy. Like, look, I can't really describe what I'm going through, but don't bury me, please. Like,
yeah. I can definitely see that. Okay.
And he says,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's almost like he's feeling guilty about having this burden. It's like, I'm sorry that I'm carrying this and I can't get out of it. Like, he probably feels like it's harming others in his life.
And then how does it continue with the
So it
lyrics?
continues, leave me alone, God, let me go. I'm blue and cold, black sky will burn. Love pull me down, hate lift me up. So, like...
Part of me's wondering, that one lyric, how did it go again? Like, it's like, love burned me? Is that what you said?
Black sky will burn, love pull me down.
Love pulled me down. Okay, I wonder if it's like he thought he found a good connection with someone, but that person ended up being like a narcissist or something. It's like this person didn't think this person didn't realize how awful this person was. They thought they found a friend or something, but they were like, nope, not even close.
So the way I interpret this is the black sky will burn. So, like, the sky is burning. Like, he feels like his life is crashing down. So he's asking love to pull him down, keep him from the burning sky. Hate lift me up. So the hatred's trying to pull him up. He needs love to pull him down and protect him from that burning sky.
I keep him grounded.
Yes, and whatever that burning sky is, like whether it's like an addiction where it's like he's trying to fight that impulse, or it's like some sort of self-loathing, or trying to go back to someone really toxic, like in the last song, like I think that's what the black sky is, and love is keeping him grounded.
Okay, that's like, if dude, that's gotta be like, I can't think of a better answer than that. I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to think of an interpretation. It's just like that. I can't say any better. Like, I can't. Like, that's like so accurate, you know. Like, but I feel like I kind of felt the same, maybe a little bit, you know. On that, like that's pretty good. Like,
well, that just goes to show like how connected to this song I am.
Yeah,
I've had
definitely.
a lot of time to think about it, so it's like
I'm starting to realize that. Like,
so it's like I figured this is a really good one to end on.
I like this one already. Like, this isn't like a, whoa, this is deep. This is kind of like a heck yeah, you know, kind of thing.
It's hopeful. It sounds dark at first glance, but really it's hopeful.
Right.
Like he's battling something. Mm-hmm. So it goes on and says, just turn around. There's nothing left. Somewhere far beyond this world, I feel nothing anymore. Mm-hmm. So like, basically, I think what that's saying is like, there's nothing left in this like thorn in your side for you. Like, this can't do anything for you. Go beyond this world of suffering, like, because you don't feel, you feel numb. Like, there's nothing for you here. Like,
right. Do you think like he's talking about himself or whatever it is he or she's dealing with?
I think it's probably
I'm going to say it's
both. I'd say it's both.
Oh, I was going to say it was the faceless enemy that we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
I was going to say whoever this is talking to the faceless threat or villain.
Oh, that's what you meant.
That's what I meant.
Because like the faceless threat could be himself. Could be another thing. I think that I like that they kept it that vague, because that makes it so it can apply to anyone in any kind of turmoil.
It's open to like
whatever the faceless enemy is to you, or the burning sky, like
literally, 100%. Like, you can fit this song with whatever it is you're dealing with. Yeah, it can apply to anyone. It's like you couldn't have written that better, you know. Like, That's perfect. Because that's what music, to me, it's supposed to unite people. You feel like a common bond. Like, yes, I share your pain. I'm in your shoes. I just have a different, I'm just going through something different,
But I'm still battling it nonetheless.
Nonetheless, yes, exactly.
And then it goes back into the chorus for a final time, saying, "Dear Agony, just let go of me. Suffer slowly. Is this the way it's gotta be? Don't bury me, faceless enemy. I'm so sorry. Is this the way it's gotta be? Dear Agony, I feel nothing anymore."
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Wow.
the whole song.
That's the whole song. Wow. And, dude, I gotta tell you, though, out of the 4 songs that we covered during this recording, I think that one was my favorite.
Oh, yeah?
I really say that. I think that was my favorite.
I
Just
like the
because of
message
how
of this one.
Yeah, because, the message alone is how hopeful it was,
Yes.
that was good,
Mhm.
I love the feel-good stuff.
Yes.
Really. There's gotta be some darkness songs sometimes, but,
Sure.
But that was really, really good high note.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
And it's I have to say, for the audience, there is not a single song on this album that I don't enjoy. These were just the ones we picked for this episode because it's an hour long at this point. And
Yeah.
it was hard for me to narrow it down, but I think these 4 do a really good job. But I highly recommend this album. What about you, Chris?
I would say, yeah, it's just Preston has had me listen to other songs off of here, and this whole thing is just lightning in a bottle. It's just the energy, the songwriting, what this album has captured. It's like Jaws. This is something I don't think could ever be replicated, ever again.
No
This
way.
is one of those rare things. It's just this is a timeless artifact for the 21st century.
I don't think even they could replicate it.
No,
you could try your best, you could get close, but nothing is quite like Dear Agony, the album.
No, I don't. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. And this album, I agree with Preston. I highly recommend you check this out because it may be a 21st century album, but I feel like it's just a timeless piece that will be listened to by dozens of generations to come, and they're gonna feel the same things that what we're feeling right now, And I think here's the thing: do you think that this is always gonna be number 1 for them? Do you think they'll? I feel like this will be I feel like this will be the album they'll be known for.
Definitely. This has by far been the most successful. Their other albums are great, but in every other album, I can pick one song where it's it's not my favorite. I love all the songs in this one in particular.
Right. There isn't that one song, I'm skipping that. It's you want to listen to everything, and
Yeah. And unfortunately, just because people tend to not like darker tones of music, I don't know if I can say that this is going to be a song that will never be forgotten or an album, but I don't want it to be. And that's part of the reason I wanted to cover this. Because I hope someone out there will remember this and pass it on.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to bring a new perspective, if you will, into why we think, this album is worth a mention.
Not
really.
just the album, but the genre.
But the genre itself, even that deserves a very good, call out.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But I just want to say, I hope you enjoyed this recording. I could not have thought of a better way to celebrate the 40th episode. This was a very magnificent recording. And Preston, man, bro, just thank you so much for coming on to the show yet again and just blowing my mind with your interpretations of these songs.
It's my pleasure as always.
Yeah, dude, you added so much to these albums that we cover. It's just dude, the fun thing is just you and I just bouncing interpretations off of what we think the song's talking about. That alone is fun for me.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
That makes it all worth it.
Exactly. And I hope that you enjoyed this recording. And Preston, I think I already know the answer to this, but did you have fun on this one?
Oh, yes, I did.
Like, this man, I'm telling you right now, this man was grinning the whole time, the whole hour we've been doing this. Like, the smile has never left. Like, he's been so excited. Like, this is the happiest I think I've ever seen him on the show. Like, he was ready to talk about this.
And I've been pumped about this for days. I've been like pulling up the songs, like listen to this, and like, oh, I can't wait to do this on Tuesday. Like,
Yeah,
I've been
like-
so happy for this
Like,
one.
Yeah, there was a big build up to this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was a wait, and the wait was worth it. Like, this was good.
Yes.
Like, this was a very, very good, recording on this, getting to cover this record. So, like I said, I hope you enjoy this recording. And to whoever is listening to this, I hope you're having a very excellent day or week. And I hope your life is going well. And I hope you enjoyed this recording. And until the next one, I'm DJ Apollo with
Preston.
and you are listening to the Tales of Music and Film.